Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Andrew. We're brothers. And this is The Daniel and Andrew Show.
Where we give our opinions about movies and TV and movies about sexy vampires that aren't Twilight. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Did you do anything fun this week?
Oh, I got back from my trip. And immediately from getting back from my trip, it was time to pre order the Switch 2.
Mm.
Um, and, you know, everything didn't work. Sites going down. Target just kept bouncing. My pre order, at first it was the bank, then it was Target. Because Target was like the only one I seemed to could get through, and then I was waiting in a Walmart line. I did get one through Walmart, but basically every other place failed on me. And I went to GameStop this morning just to see. I got there right on time, but there was definitely people camping out because there was probably like maybe 40, 50 people ahead of me, and they said they had like 35 switches. Um, so I was like, see you later. Because I was like literally at the end of the line because I got there right when it opened.
Oh, you didn't get
So
there early?
no, I had already gotten one from Walmart. I just wanted to see if I could get another one or if I could get it through.
Did you actually get it? Or,
No, it's just a pre-order. It doesn't come out till
oh,
the 5th.
did they pre order?
Yeah, that was for pre-orders. Yeah,
No,
GameStop's for pre.
GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop. Yeah,
They
it's
didn't
for
they
pre.
didn't get one either.
No,
Okay.
nobody gets anything till the 5th. This is
Oh, okay.
just
You just didn't
to
get there early
reserve.
enough to stand there and pre-order it.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So for me, I'm wondering if I was thinking if I didn't get one, I would get there at 9. It opened at 11. I'm thinking that wouldn't have even been early enough to get one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how early all those other people got there, but I got there 10 minutes early. So they were already there.
Gotcha. I mean, I would be concerned if there was nobody camping out. And I mean, you're not in like a huge market or anything,
Yeah.
so I can't imagine. And you had like you said there were like 50 people waiting. I can't imagine like in a
Yeah.
big
Well,
market.
they even said that to me. And then, like, just eyeballing it, you can tell that there was more people than what they said they had. Yet I was the only person that left. So there's going to be a lot of disappointed people.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you could just go over there and be like, "Oh, they don't have it," and then they're like, "Okay, bye," you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, whatever. Um, and that's for the Switch 2. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Um, yeah, I didn't have any like big events or anything that I can think of. Mm, I'm definitely watched a lot of movies. I didn't talk about it when we last time. Um, all right, so I have quite a few movies that I saw, and then also I finished so I finished a TV show. It was Matlock. It finally finished. That show's been going for a long time, and they took like more than one random break for like March Madness and stuff. So it's just a complete reboot of a show from back in the day, and Kathy Bates is the main character. She's a lawyer, and I mean, she doesn't pretend to be old. She is old, but she uses her being old as like a, like a, how to get in and like disarm people, and
Mm-hmm.
then she figures out she's basically a detective, even though she's a lawyer. I mean,
Yeah.
and they figure out who did what and blah blah blah. It's a procedural, but in this show they have an overarching story for the season. And this one, so she has a daughter that dies. She overdoses, and she there's this opioid that the daughter takes, and she dies, and she wants to get um, revenge on the company that sold it, and the law firm that like hid the hid the evidence that it was bad or whatever. So she works at that law firm, and then there's the possible people that could have done it or whatever. And so that's like the storyline for
The
the
through line for the
season.
story. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Now I don't really like the overarching story. It's just like the whole thing is like the daughter, and it's like, and then you get like the backstory on the daughter, and she was like a druggie and all that stuff. And I don't know, I don't love the overarching story, and like she becomes friends with some of the lawyers, and like what those are the people that could have done it, and blah blah blah. And it was like, and she's always like 3 steps ahead, of the oh, you think she's found out, but she's actually like, you know done everything. And I don't know, I like the show, and I like Kathy Bates. She's a good actress, and the show did really well, so they're definitely having another season. So, um, but I'll probably watch it. It's just a lot. Um, I think the show overall is like a 7. I mean, a lot of these exist, but I do like lawyer shows. So yeah. Um, all right, and then the other movies that I watched, they did a 20th anniversary re-release of Pride and Prejudice. This is with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden. He was the bad guy in Deadpool and Wolverine, who's like, I'm gonna clean the timelines up or whatever. But so Pride and Prejudice is um, they're is they're in the time where women can't own like property and stuff. So there's no man in the family. Like it goes to like their money and stuff goes to like the next closest male relative, and the next closest male relative is some like distant cousin in their family. So there's 5 daughters, and the dad is elderly. So the mom really wants the daughters to get married, so he to like a good man or whatever, so that he would be in charge of the money instead of just some random guy, like someone keep it in the family basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And um, so Keira Knightley plays like the second oldest daughter, and she's the protagonist in the story. And then she meets Mr. Darcy, and she doesn't like him, of course, but he's a really rich, handsome guy. And she doesn't like him, and but but all the girls are excited because this rich guy comes to town or whatever. And so they're like trying to get the girls married off and blah blah blah. And then, but it's mostly a love story. It was directed by Joe Wright, who directed Atonement and that Cyrano movie with Peter Dinklage. So he has a lot of period. Almost all his movies are like period pieces, and this adaptation is a really famous adaptation. And I thought it was pretty good. And I've never actually seen Pride and Prejudice or read the book or anything. That's a very famous book, right? But I thought it was pretty good. I would give that like a 7 as well, maybe like a 7.5. I just didn't see this that Matthew uh, McFadden guy as a romantic lead. And apparently he's like 6'3". He's like huge. Like in the movie, like there's like other guys in it, and he's like huge. And I was like, is he really that tall? I thought he was short, because in that Deadpool movie, I thought he was short. He's actually really tall. um, yeah, and then yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny. And yeah, Keira Knightley was good, and um, Rosamund Pike plays one of the sisters, and a lot of like a lot of British character actors that you've seen before and other things, Downton Abbey and stuff like that. Judy Dench comes in, um, as like or like a very like posh rich lady. It's a pretty good movie. Um, I yeah, so got that one, and then Warfare, which I thought was very well done movie. It's that movie where it's basically you're watching it in real time. Soldiers in I believe they're in Afghanistan. No, Iraq maybe. I can't remember, but they're fighting. They take take control of a house for like just to keep an eye on the terrorists, or not terrorists, the guys that they're surveying, right? And there's a guy on a sniper and stuff, and they're keeping an eye out and they're reporting back, and then they get attacked, and then you know there's
Chaos ensues, and
chaos, and people got legs blown off, and people are screaming and they're shooting, and the sound design in this movie was very good. You're like, they're shooting these like, and they're like, holy crap.
mhm.
Yeah, it was a really good movie, and it's all based on true stuff. The co-writer of the movie is one of the characters in the movie, so obviously he lives. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a well done movie, and it was interesting to see the perspective, and it was all shot very well. It looked really good. Had basically every young British actor out there going right now. You got Will Poulter, you have Joseph Quinn, uh, uh, Cosmo Jarvis, and it's the guy in Shogun. Um, and and then there's some American actors, Noah Centineo and Charles Melton. There's a bunch of basically the young handsome actors right now, um, that are doing well. Basically, your two main guys were Will Poulter and Joseph Quinn, and I was like, oh, Johnny Storm keeps help. Johnny Storm and Adam Warlock are helping each other out here. Um, That's what I kept thinking. I thought that was a really good movie. I think that's definitely worth a watch in the old theater. I give that an 8.
Yeah, I was
Um,
hearing this was like people were giving this movie like a 10 out of 10 type of thing. They really
yeah, I
enjoyed it.
mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, war movies is always war is crazy. War is it's the same. I mean, the message is the same. Most war movies, it's you know this is what war is like, and war is hell. Um, and Now I appreciate it. They don't usually have modern wars. It's usually World War II, or but this was modern war, right? Modern warfare. And Yeah, I thought it was good. It was a good movie. It's definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth seeing in the theater. I Unfortunately, the timing on this movie when it came out was poor, poor planning on, because that movie didn't do jack diddly. It didn't have any premium screens. That movie should have been seen on like IMAX, good sound. That would have been good. They could have
Hmm.
put that out in September and made a killing, but they put it in a very bloated April. Um, I don't know why they put it out when they put it out. That was stupid. Um, they basically sent that movie to die. Um, but it was a good movie, and it's worth the watch. Um, and then the last movie that I saw was Bob Trevino Likes It. Um, and that's my favorite movie of all these ones that I saw, including the one we're going to talk about today. This movie is a very small indie movie. It's about a girl who has a strained relationship with her father, and she friends her name. You know, her dad's name is Bob Trevino, and she friends a guy on Facebook, hoping that it's her dad, and it ends up not being her dad. Um, and it, this Bob Trevino that she friends on Facebook, she starts talking with him, and it's played by John Leguizamo, and they end up becoming friends. He's like 50, and she's like, like 28 or whatever, and then they become friends, and then he basically becomes like a surrogate dad for her. Um, and it's just about their friendship or whatever, and it's based on a true story. The lady who wrote and directed the movie is the lady in the story. um, uh, it was just a nice little movie with, you know, good acting, and um, I thought, I mean, it was like heartfelt and nice movie. um, I definitely would recommend that movie as well. I give that movie like an 8. Um, both that and Warfare will definitely be, well, I would assume in my top 10. They're definitely in my top 10 right now. So for the end of the year, definitely both worth your time. Um, so yeah, that was all the movies that I saw.
Cool.
Um, but that was basically like 2 weeks worth. So because I
Yeah.
didn't talk about them last time. So all right, you ready to get into the old news ski here? We got so the Oscars have added in to they've added a new category, and they've added some new rules. Um, so they announced that they're going to add a stunt category to the Oscars, which people have been calling for a while now. And people are saying like, well, now Tom Cruise is gonna make more Mission Impossibles because they would be shoe-ins for winning, I would
Very
assume.
true. Very
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's cool. Long time coming there. Stunts have definitely been highlighted more and more. Um, some movies, I mean, what's his name? David Leitch's whole company is like, because he was a stunt man and stuff. So
Yeah.
stunt heavy stuff, John Wicks and things like that. Um, but yeah, that's coming up soon. I think it was for the 26 Oscars, which would be not next year, but the year after, where they would add the category. Um,
Okay.
and then a new rule that they added is that if you want to vote for the Oscars, you have to see every single movie that is nominated instead
Nice.
of just watch two movies and then go, I don't know, this one, I know that person, so that's good. I don't know why they didn't add that before, or that wasn't rules before, but you know,
Yeah.
um,
Now
so
there'll
yeah,
only be like 4 people voting.
yeah, yeah. There's thousands of Academy members, and there's only like 100 of them watched all of the movies.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I don't know if you have to watch the ones in the all the ones in the category, or you have to watch all of them. But
I would
I would,
assume all the ones in the category.
yeah,
That'd be
I
a
would,
lot.
yeah. Well, I think also they separate them, like the directors vote for the directors and stuff like that. So it would make sense that it would just be in the category, but I don't know. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting that there's like kind of different kind of news there. Um, and now we can get into nerdy stuff. Um, so there was a report about Black Panther. Obviously, we know that T'Challa's. son exists, and his name is T'Challa. Um, and people aren't particularly don't particularly love Shuri as Black Panther. Um, so the rumor is that the next Black Panther will be T'Challa, but it's T'Challa's son there, and they apparently already have cast an actor, and
Mm.
this actor already has done something superhero related now, and they're talking to him right now, whoever this mystery man is. Now, I thought of some names here that are the possibilities that fit under that category because that would be superhero already, or in superhero related thing already, and you know, and can't be like 100 years old, you know. So here's some options here. You got Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's probably the least likely, but yeah.
Well, he's in every single Ryan Coogler movie, and I believe Ryan Coogler's making the next Black Panther. He's in literally every every Ryan Coogler movie, including the one we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Uh, so Michael B. Jordan, you could do uh, the guy who's in Baku, which is Winston Duke. Uh, I mean,
Okay. It wouldn't
he's.
make any sense. But
I'm just giving you
yeah.
names. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're good or bad. Um, what people are talking about is Aaron Pierre because he's going to be Green Lantern. Um, I mean, I think he's a good actor. Um, I thought he should be it, and then I was like, ah, oh, crap, he's Green Lantern. So, um, Yahya Abdul Mateen the second, he is already going to be Wonder Man, literally in a show coming out this year for Marvel. But he was also Black Manta in Aquaman. Uh, Daniel Kaluuya, who was in the first Black Panther, who was in Get Out, and he won an Oscar a couple years ago. Um, and there's one more that I can't remember right now. I mean, Mahershala Ali's too old, but I mean, he was in, and Mike Coulter is too old, who is in, though they were both in Luke Cage, right? So, um, yeah, I think that's everybody. Uh, obviously, Anthony Mackie's, Captain America and stuff. So,
I mean, he pretty much is Black Panther already because he has a full vibranium suit, but whatever.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's some interesting options, but I'm not seeing any of these being likely. Now, the one I would want, the one I think I would pick, is probably Aaron Pierre, but I don't think he would do it, especially because his Green Lantern hasn't even happened yet, and I don't think they want to do a back and forth like that.
Hmm.
So I would think Yahya Abdul Mateen, and you just scrap Wonder Man. Uh, he was in Candyman, and yeah, he was Black Manta in Aquaman. He's also and he has another comic book thing. He was Doctor Manhattan in the Watchmen TV show that I heard was very good.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably want Michael B. Jordan, but it would make no sense. So it would have to be weird, but
Yeah, it'd have to be like a variant, right?
yeah, something goofy like that. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm pretty certain that. Oh, also Shamik Moore. He's the voice of Miles Morales. That's another guy. I forgot. That was the one I couldn't remember. Um, but yeah, I mean, so from what I think, I mean this is my I guess what I should say my pitch for Black Panther 3. Well, we already know that Denzel's going to be in it. So Denzel's going to be some sort of mentor figure. I would just you just do the Cable storyline, which is Jean Grey and Cyclops' son, and then they send him away, and then he gets older, and then he comes back to our timeline, right? You just do the Cable storyline. Cable's already been used in Deadpool, so you just kind of give his storyline to um, T'Challa 2 here, right? And I think you do it that way. You just he goes away, he comes back. Maybe you have him show him training with Denzel, right? Denzel would be the mentor figure. I believe you introduce him, and I also think in the same movie that is when you introduce Storm, because in the comics, Storm is the Queen of Wakanda. You got your King and Queen of Wakanda at the end of the movie with Storm.
Okay.
That's what I that would get people excited at the end if um, you pick the right actress for Storm. You have them both sitting on their little thrones at the end of that third movie. That would get people excited.
Okay.
Um, but you got to get the right actors, obviously. That's number one. Um,
Yeah. I don't know. It might be a little too late. I feel like they should have done that for the last one.
well, oh well.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a good idea. I'm not saying no to it. I literally have no clue what they'll do.
right. Um, we'll see what happens. But I mean, Black Panther is definitely beloved. It's unfortunate with Chadwick passing away. I think that they have the opportunity to do something good here, and I think going going to the comics, and just pulling from the comics, and Storm is literally like a big part many times, and but you could, and that's a very easy way to do that, right? And I
Hmm.
think people like Storm. I don't see any reason why what I would do would not be a good idea, unless you cast somebody stupid. That'd be the only way you could screw it up. Um, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, all right, ready to get into the old Star Wars. Um, so this past week they had Star Wars Celebration, which I don't think it's every year, right? It's every other year.
No, I think it's every year.
Really? I think it's
Yeah.
every other year because they announced the next one is going to be in LA, and it's going to be in 27. I think it's every other year.
Okay.
Um, all right. So we had a whole bunch of crap come out here. Um, I guess I shouldn't say crap. A whole bunch of things that they announced here. So we're getting another season of Visions, the anime Star Wars anime show where they're like mini
Hmm.
things. In that season, we are going to get um, new shorts, but there will be a couple sequels to shorts from the first season.
Oh, okay.
So, um, it is the Village Bride, the Duel, and the Ninth Jedi. Now, the Duel is the very first one where it was kind of like samurai or whatever. So we'll get a sequel to that one. Um, the Village Bride. Um, that one was
They were
That
like in
one
a
was
village or something, and she was force sensitive.
yeah,
Uh,
that one was decent.
yeah,
And then the Ninth Jedi is the best one of the
yeah,
series by
yeah.
far. That one is getting a series sequel, like
It's
a
getting
full
more
thing.
than one episode.
Yeah, yeah,
It's getting like it's getting its own show.
yeah. Like yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um, that one, yeah, that one will be. We so the nine, so the sequels. The third season will come out October 29th of this year. Um, but yeah, a spin-off series about the Ninth Jedi is on the way.
Hmm.
It will release in 2026.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so it won't be an anthology. It will be a spin-off series. Yeah, longer form storytelling, and it'll be about the Ninth Jedi. So that's cool because that was like the most Star Wars
So, are you
thing.
saying there's going to be also an episode of that in this October release
That's
one?
what it says. Yeah, that's what it
So that's
says.
going to kind of set up probably the
The
show.
the show, yeah,
Okay.
which is cool because I think that was really good. And I was like,
Yeah.
I remember watching that episode. It's like, man, I wish there was more of this because this is interesting. So, and we're
Yeah.
getting it. Yeah, I know that they got good feedback on that episode. Um, and the first season of Visions was much better than the second season. So hopefully
Yes.
this third season can be a return to form here. Um,
Yeah. No more singing ones, please.
oh, 10 more singing ones. Everything but that one needs to be a singing one. Thank
No.
you very much.
No.
All right. We got a video game, Star Wars Zero Company. You heard about this one? Turn
Yeah.
based game?
Turn based XCOM style game. There was some gameplay. You're doing that, but you really liked Midnight Suns.
Uh,
And it looked very similar, but just Star Wars. So
yeah.
you might, you might be up your alley.
I think I just liked the characters that were in Midnight Suns.
Yeah, well, we don't know what characters. I don't know. It's a new story. They could be likable.
Probably going to pass, but that's okay.
At least it's something different. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. All right. We'll stick with animated here. Uh, we are getting another animated show, and this show is called Maul Shadow Lord. So animated show with Darth Maul, where he has an apprentice. I guess you know about this already.
Yes, I do. She's called something. It's like a one-worded name. We don't know if they're gonna take it straight because he had comics, I believe, beforehand that he had an apprentice. Um, but I mean, it was very. I don't know. I never read it, but I heard that it's like a sexier character. I mean, even Darth Maul himself is kind of like a very cool, bad-looking character, and then ladies in fantasy that are bad are usually very, you know,
It says
sexy.
that it says in this that Rook Cast returns. I don't know who that is.
Rook cast. That's what you said.
Rook Cast.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Maybe a Mandalorian thing. I don't know. Well, I believe the show takes place between Clone Wars and Rebels,
Yep,
where
that's
spoiler
correct.
alert, he kicks it in Rebels. Um, so Yeah. So I guess kind of during the Empire's age, I guess. And yeah, it'll have some criminal underworld of some type or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds cool. I know they got what's his head to do it, and he's great. He plays a great Maul. So
Yeah, I'm sure they got the same guy. I don't think they would
yeah,
change him.
I don't know why I can't remember his name, but
I don't know. I don't know his
it's
name.
like
So
I want to say it's Sam something, but he
Sam. Oh yeah, Sam something. That's right.
yeah
Sam.
he was in like Teen Wolf or something.
Ah, that's gonna bother me because you said his first name. Now,
Is it like it's like Sam Withers or something? Whitaker. I don't know.
Whitmer, Whitner, whatever. His
Sorry.
name's Sam. Sorry, Sam.
He's really good at doing impressions. I've seen a lot of them. I think he's a great dude, and he really likes Star Wars. So
Yeah, he is a big fan from what I remember.
mhm.
Um,
He played. I think he played in the video game Force Unleashed. I'm pretty sure he was the protagonist.
yeah, I think you're
Same
right.
guy. Yeah.
Um, yup. So they talked about Andor, but that's literally out, started already. Anakin Skywalker will be back in Ahsoka season 2 with what's his name? Hayden Christensen will be back. That was a reveal, even though it's not like
Not really.
surprising or anything.
Yeah.
Um, and Rory McCann in was shown with because he had to be recast. The Balin had to be recast because the actor passed away. Rory
Hmm.
McCann, who is what's his name in Game of Thrones, the Hound, right? In Game of
Hmm.
Thrones, he looks pretty cool in these pictures. Um, but yeah, so that's Ahsoka season 2 is coming.
Was there a date?
Um, mm-hmm. uh, no, I don't believe
Okay.
so.
I would assume it's probably just like next year or something like that.
Admiral Akbar will play a bigger role and go head to head with Thrawn. Um, Zeb was confirmed to appear in season 2.
I think he appeared in season one.
Yeah, but like very small amount.
Yeah. He was like a rebel. So yeah,
Yeah.
if they're he probably works
Obviously,
for
we
Admiral
know
Akbar.
Ezra and those other characters
Sabine.
will come back as well.
Hera.
Hera, Chopper. Um, so yeah. Cool. Um, so that was the TV show stuff that they talked about. And now let's get into the old movie skis here. Um, they had a trailer that they showed a trailer. It has leaked for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Um, Sigourney Weaver hires Din Djarin, our Mandalorian, right? Pedro Pascal's character for a mission. Um, and, you know, gonna go do whatever. Rhoda the Hutt, who's being played by, what's his name? Guy from The Bear, Jeremy Allen White. They showed a little of him and stuff. So, just sounds like an episode of the TV show, to be honest. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but that'll be our first Star Wars movie in because it's coming out next year, 7 years.
Wow. Does not
So,
feel like it's been that long, but yeah, it has.
yep. Um, and then the final thing here, um, we are next Star Wars movie that will come out in April of 2027 will be Star Wars Starfighter, which is that movie that will be directed by Sean Levy that stars Ryan Gosling.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's coming out April 2027. A standalone adventure that takes place a few years after The Rise of Skywalker and features entirely new characters.
I hope that means like since it's called Starfighter, like it's actually going to be like battle tactics kind of, you know, space flight battle. How battles should be, not just Poe flying around blowing everything up.
My assumption is that if it's called Starfighter, that Ryan Gosling is a pilot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably not. There's probably no Jedi or anything. It's just
Yeah.
probably
I want standing by gold leader standing by. I want that. That is what I want. And I want tactics and I want flying through the trenches and stuff. That's what I want.
what I don't understand is the war is over.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So I don't know why they would be.
Remnants of
Oh yeah, maybe
Empire Zero or whatever the heck they called it in that movie.
something.
The
What
the
the
the Empire, but it was bigger and secret and really far away.
what the hell was it called? The something Republic or something?
Dude, I don't know.
First Order, right? No.
No, it wasn't called First Order at the end, but yes, in the first movie they were called the First Order.
New Empire Star
Yeah,
Wars.
it's so forgettable. It's just a crappy empire. That's what I call it.
New Empire. Galactic Empire? New Galactic Empire? What is it? It's not called the First Order? What the hell is it called?
I don't know. It's okay. We don't need to dwell on it.
I don't know. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So got Star Wars stuff on the way here. I don't know how much of it will actually come to be. I think all of these are supposedly come in. They haven't said that anything's gotten canceled or anything. So hopefully
Cool.
they're good.
Yeah.
In a couple days, we have the Tales of the Underworld will come out on May the 4th. All right.
Yes, we have to watch that and Andor. So we have quite a bit to watch.
Time for trailers. Um, what do you want to talk about?
I have the list. Give me a sec. Um, let's start with the Fantastic Four. We can be quick about it. It's not
Start
too
with
much new.
Fantastic Four, the big one. All right. We got to look at our Silver Surfer there. We got a little tiny look at Galactus. What'd you think of the trailer?
It looks like the second movie. It's like the same storyline.
Yeah. Galactus with Silver Surfer. Yeah, it's true.
Well, why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why?
But it's in the 60s.
Ooh,
More comics accurate.
I think I don't. I'm not. After seeing this trailer, I'm actually worse off. I think I'm not as interested as I was before, and I wasn't that interested before. So I'm a little worried about it.
It's kind of funny because I thought this trailer was better.
Yeah,
Um,
I also don't like the outfits either, but I get it's their comics, but it just kind of looks goofy to me.
yeah, definitely retro looking. But that's what they're going for, right? I thought the trailer was pretty good. We got a look at Stretchy. stretchy man powers for the first time. Very little though, so I wonder if like the CG is not well done yet, even though that movie's coming out in like a couple months. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like really bad or anything, but I think it's going to be one of the lower performer ones.
I think that people only thing that people are quasi interested in this movie is will Robert Downey Jr. show up and stuff. I think that's the thing that people are actually the only reason
Oh,
anyone's actually interested in
that's a
this,
good
right?
point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Um, how will it tie in? I mean, Fantastic Four in the comics are very more important part of Marvel, and they have just been not good, so they just haven't had their chance here. So
Just as long what it's reminding me of is when they did the last of the X-Men movies and they literally redid X3, which wasn't a good movie, and then they're just doing the exact same storyline. I'm worried. Like, why are you doing the same storyline? It didn't work the first time around. You're not going to do it better. It looks the same.
well, okay, so you're saying they did X3 again, and X3 was bad already, right?
X3 was bad, and then that one was even worse somehow.
I don't know if I'd say
It
it
doesn't
was worse.
matter. We don't need to
Anyway,
compare pieces of
who
poop.
cares? Yeah. Okay. So what are we talking about? We're talking about Fantastic Four. Okay.
Yes.
So okay. So here's the problem. Doctor Doom is the most famous Fantastic Four villain. He's being used. The most famous one after that is Galactus, and then Silver Surfer. So they're going to use them, right? The problem is that yeah, it's already been done. But then if you don't do them, who do you do?
I don't know. Pull out your D team, you
Yeah.
know, Scrotius Maximus, whoever it is. You just got to throw them in there because you can't do the same thing again because no one cares.
I think I think they're doing some different things. They're being in the 60s and she's pregnant, and I mean they're trying different things. Um yeah, I'm just I don't know. I'm just still not sold on the unfortunately I'm not sold on the people that they cast as the actors.
Neither am I. I'm not seeing the
So,
chemistry or anything.
yeah. So that's worrisome. Like but as always, uh as we should say, anything can be good. And I'll see it and make my
Yeah,
judgment
I
when I
mean,
see it.
I'm gonna see it. I'm just saying, based off of this, I'm worried. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. And I think I understand why you feel worried. All right. We're gonna talk from the four Fantastic Four there to the Four Seasons. That's the TV show, Netflix show with Will Ferrell, not Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, and Tina Fey, and in other people, Will Forte. There we go. Um, yeah. What'd you think?
Oh, did you find it funny?
Moderately.
Because I'm like pass.
I mean, well, first of all, it's on Netflix, and I got rid of mine. So
So you'd have to shell out the big bucks for
yeah,
to be able
so
to see
no,
it.
probably it probably will be bad. So probably will be a show I don't watch.
Yeah, fair.
And yeah, I mean, this doesn't go. Oh, I need to restart to watch this show. This was a show I thought about. This is based on a book, I believe, that did well. Eh. I thought it looked okay. Coleman Domingo. I mean, like, there's a lot of good actors in it, a lot of good comedic actors. You'd think it would look good. The only joke I laughed at was the very end tag joke, which I thought was funny. But um, I mean, I like the people in it and stuff, and the people making it are good. But I don't know. This one doesn't quite hit, but it definitely seems like a show you have to watch. Like it's not
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah, I see what
because
you're saying.
this I think it's going to be more like lighthearted comedy and like it's not like a sitcom. It's like a you know the story. There's funny moments in the story. I don't think it's like a joke show. So yeah, it's a different kind of show, and you have to you know
Hmm.
get into it. You probably like the characters and things like that. I think probably the show would probably be decent, but it's just not like a all time great show or anything that we need. I would get a streaming service for. So yeah, um, cool. Um, let's talk about The Roses. Speaking of comedies, that is a movie. And it is directed by Jay Roche, I believe, who did what's it called? Austin Powers and Meet the Parents and stuff. And this has Benedict Cumberbatch, Olivia Colman, Andy Samberg, Allison Janney, and Kate McKinnon. I thought this looked interesting.
I thought it looked boring until they got into like the chaos of what the
The
story will
War of
be.
called like the War of that's the same. The War of the Roses. No, it's like that's what it's
Yeah.
playing on, right?
As long as we
Um,
get into that quickly, I think it'll be a good movie.
well, I've liked pretty much every Jay Roche comedy, Austin Powers and the Meet the Parents and stuff. So
Hmm.
I'd hope I'd like this too. I think he's actually a good director. Um, I like the people in it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Benedict Cumberbatch in a comedy.
Yeah,
Um,
unless you're considering like Strange somewhat of a comedy or Spider Man somewhat as a comedy.
yeah, I guess he did do more comedic stuff in that Spider-Man movie, but I
Yeah, it's
wouldn't
not a
consider.
comedy. Yeah. Mhm.
No, I've never seen him in a straight out and out comedy. And I like that they're making comedies, and I like the director, and I hope it does well. Uh, there's it has all the makings of being a very good movie. I hope that it is a good movie. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
so this this one definitely piqued my interest when I read the like synopsis and that it was being made anyway, and now we get an actual trailer for it. Um, definitely piques my interest more. And yeah, and that's coming out August 29th of this year. Um, so yeah, uh, end of summer movie there. So that's another movie check out maybe. Um, all right, now let's get into our horror-ish corner here, I guess. Um, I know what you did last summer, which is a one of those sequel reboot movies. They clearly saw that Scream did well, and they brought back the original people from Scream and stuff, and they're just doing it with I Know What You Did Last Summer, and they brought back
Yep.
Jennifer Love Hewitt and Fred there, Freddie Prince Jr.
Yep. It looks like Final Destination, but with a killer. And yeah.
Yeah, I know what you did last summer. Is yeah, they kill somebody accidentally, and then they start getting killed. They did a couple of them in the late '90s, early 2000s, I believe, with those actors. Right. The second one was called "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer" or something like that. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks boring. Definite skip for me.
Yeah. I think I've seen those movies. I might check it out. I don't know. Um, I believe this also was um, another one, another summer release. I believe
I mean, if it's
uh,
not, you failed because it's what you did last summer. So,
July 18th. So yes, coming out in the shimmer. Um, yeah, I can see why you're not like that interested.
yep.
Then it's just another slasher, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just I know what you did last summer. I think came out after Scream, and it's kind of just a ripoff of Scream,
Yeah.
if anything, with
Screams a
worse actors.
rip off of itself. They're all bad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Predator Badlands is our last trailer here. Um, so we have we had Praise in the past, so we got the future here. Um, so Elle Fanning plays an android, a Wayland Yutani android, which is an alien from Alien. Um,
Okay.
so they're, I mean, this is Predator, so they're crossing them over.
Crossover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
So pretty. I mean, they're doing alien stuff and they're doing Predator stuff at the same time, so it's not surprising that they might cross them over.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, what'd you think of the trailer?
it looked fine. I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
show very much. It was a teaser for sure. I liked Prey. Same guy who's doing it, so I have hope. He's made good movies in the past, so
I liked the idea of the other movie, though. Like what
yeah,
they did for the storyline. This looks a little fantasy, sci fi kind of goofiness. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up liking it because I do like that stuff. But I don't know. I just think I liked Prey so much. I just kind of want that done again. But
yeah. Well, I believe that they are making another one. I think, like Prey.
oh, okay,
I
cool.
think so. Yeah, I agree with you. But this one, it looks like the predator is the prey in this one.
Yes,
So very different this time.
exciting. Can't wait to get
Yeah,
on the Predator's side to win.
exactly. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we're not on their side. Maybe we're just watching what's happening. I don't know.
No, then there's no one to root for. I don't know.
All right. Well, that was all the trailers on the trailer train this week. And we are going to get into our review. So this week we are talking about Sinners. This is Ryan Coogler's new film, starring the guy who stars in all of his movies, Michael B. Jordan, um, and also Michael B. Jordan, and Haley Steinfeld, and Delroy Lindo. Um, what did you think of this movie? I'm curious what you thought.
I think I had a pretty good first half ish, and the payoff just blundered it all, in my opinion.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. I was bored in the first half, and I thought the second half was entertaining.
Yeah, I could see that too. It's not.
The thing
Yeah.
is I knew they were vampires, right? Because we knew the vampires in the trailers, so it wasn't a reveal.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, I know this is all set up for the vampires to come, so let's get this going. And it was almost a distinct first and second half. Like it was like
Yeah.
set up, set up, set up, set up. Crap hits the fan. Like it was like
Yeah.
Um, and I, um, yeah. I mean, I want to get it. I think we should just get like give our very short opinion and just get into spoilers because they're like, I
Okay.
mean, okay, so they're twins and they're like gangsters and they were in Chicago and then they decided to leave Chicago because they're like this isn't any different from being in the South. So they're back and they're, rekindling relationships with people and they want to have a juke joint. So they bought a old mill to have their juke joint and have their first party, um, for basically, black people to have a place for having fun and drinking and stuff. That's the setup of the movie,
Yeah.
until
But that's
people show
like
up, right?
it's like an hour and a half or something of setup.
It's an hour. It's like almost exactly an hour. It's like literally almost exactly an hour half.
Okay.
And then the vampire stuff happens, right?
I didn't know exactly, but it just felt long. But
It is
yeah.
pretty much exactly an hour, like
Okay.
split.
Okay.
Because this movie is like an hour and 15. Two and a half, you know what
oh
I mean?
yeah,
2:15.
2:15. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then there's credits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a mid credit scene for sure. Um, and I remember people were saying like you have to stay for the end credits,
I
the
didn't stay.
end credits.
I didn't stay for any of them. So you'll have to.
Really?
Yeah, you'll have to tell me.
Why not? Why are you stupid?
I didn't know there was any.
You know there's gonna be something with this.
I just didn't care, I guess.
Oh my god. Okay, well, definitely will be spoilers here. As for you too, apparently.
Yes. No.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Overall, I thought the movie was pretty well done. I mean, it looked good. I thought the acting was good. I mean, I'm for some reason I'm kind of down more with ridiculous, crazy stuff happening in movies. So I mean, I'm okay with it. So you didn't like the ending. Okay, so what rating are you at?
Um, I'm gonna say 6 right now, but we'll see how we talk in the spoilers. Maybe I go up to a 7. But um I just feel like the last act really blundered. Like I feel like there was all this setup and it all went nowhere and it was all for nothing and what a waste of time, in my opinion. Um, but maybe the end credit scene was like so crazy that maybe my opinions should change. So that's why I'm leaving it up in the air. But I'm at a 6 for what I saw.
All right. Well, okay, let's talk about spoilers here.
Spoilers.
We're talking spoilers for this movie. Why do you think it was wasted?
Because we go through all these kind of backstories and they're not really shown, they're just talked about. Like you said, he's rekindling their relationships, and I mean everyone dies. So, and then it's not even done well, and the action was kind of lame. And then it almost became just kind of like a slasher film or something to me. And they could have, like, they were vampires, but they just acted like zombies. I don't know. And then I guess the singing is kind of a cool idea, and I like that one guy doing his little Irish jig, but
That was so cringe.
yes, it
It
was.
was so cringe. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It just their payoff was just bad for me, and I don't know. It felt like the relationships that they spent so long trying to build up was just nothing. It didn't amount to anything, in my opinion. Um, yeah, so that's why I'm down
All
on the
right.
movie. Yeah.
So let's talk about the mid-credit scene that you could have waited 2 minutes to see. 2 minutes. It was literally they
I
showed the
had to
credits.
pee really bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was so short. Anyway, so they showed the old version of Sammy playing, right? You saw that.
Yeah, because
And you just had to wait a little bit longer. So he finishes his thing. He has his little club that he's playing at, right? He's sitting at the bar. The bouncer comes up to this old guy and he goes, to old Sammy here, and he goes, I got two people out front. They want to come in. Can they come in? And he's like, yeah, you can let them in. And then they're like, okay, you can come in. And it is Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld walk in their 90s getup. He's got like a Cosby sweater on and she's like in her cool outfit or whatever. And they come in and they're like, surprise, we're not dead. And he talks to Sammy there. And he says, I promised my brother that I wouldn't kill you. I would let you live your life. Because he said, and he's like, my brother's been protecting me, my whole life or whatever. And so he lets him live as long as he doesn't kill Sammy. So the Stack and whatever her name is still alive. So they're not all dead.
okay. Doesn't save the movie,
And
but okay. Is there anything
and
else?
he said he's like he asked him like, how does it feel or whatever, and he's or what did you think, he asked him how do you feel or whatever. He's like, because before the vampire stuff happens, that was the best night of my life or whatever. And he was like I got to live my life. I can keep I can let you live forever. And he said the only thing that I miss is that I don't. That was the last time. That was a good night because I'd never get to see my brother again, and I don't get to see the sunlight ever again, and blah blah blah. I'll never get to see a sunrise. Blah blah blah. And then he says, "See you around," and then he leaves. And then that's the end of the scene. It's a long scene. The scene is like 5 minutes long. Like, yeah,
I'm realizing this. Yes.
yes, this is like honestly, this should have been at the end of the movie instead of a credit scene. But yeah, so it had a nice little bow there that you didn't see.
Sure. Okay.
And then the end credit scene, like at the end, is just him singing, like the actor singing
Oh.
with the guitar. So that was worthless. You didn't need to see that. But the other one literally was like part of it there.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
So yeah, not everybody dies, but yeah, most people die in the movie. Okay, so yeah, I thought the setup was kind of boring because I kind of knew where it all was going, right? So I mean, it was fine. I just thought another part of the setup is them acting off of him acting off of himself was always looked weird. There's like a scene where he's like, I love you, and then they like show the other side, he's like, I love you too, and they're like hugging, clearly not him, right? So it was like
Yeah,
very
it
weird.
was just cringe. Like,
Yeah, when they were separate it was fine because it was just they're just acting, right? He's just acting, I think.
yeah, and he's so like famous. It's just like it takes me out of the movie by having
I
two
will
of them.
say I will say I think he did a good job. you know they were distinctly different guys. I think he did that well, at least. And I think Haley Steinfeld did a good job in because she had to be like the nice one, and then like when she was a villain, I think the villain guy did a really good job, and I liked the setup of the vampires, that they have like distinct rules and stuff. I liked that. I liked that kind of like lore that he set up for them. Is kind of interesting they're like the mind meld kind of thing, and like that
Mhm.
I thought all that was kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, but then they all just and then they like die, so it's not like you can't get like any of their backstory really, other than he's like Irish.
Yep.
Like that was like his whole backstory. Like they didn't give him like any like reasoning for anything, whatever. Also liked how they were all like really nice, you know, and then they go crazy. I like the I like the vampire lore stuff that they set up in this movie. And I don't know. I liked the music thing where it's like where they had that whole scene. I know will be remembered where he's like playing the music and like the spirits from the past and the future are playing, and like that scene was really good. I like a lot of the setup and the lore that he sets up in this movie, but it's still a vampire horror movie, kind of campy stuff.
Hmm.
But then it's also like, you know, racism in the South and the, picking cotton and
I guess, but then all of that gets thrown out at the end anyways because they're just fighting vampires. So it was like
right.
this
That's what I'm saying.
felt
It's just like
redundant.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think this movie could have been a complete and utter disaster, and it wasn't. And I was seeing the trailers and stuff. I was worried that's what it's going to be, but I thought I got a pretty decent movie, you know. Um, and I thought it looked really good. Like I didn't think any of like the CG looked bad or anything. Um, I don't know.
Well,
I
there was
thought,
nothing really to CG except like maybe the like final bit at the end there.
and I also thought like the atmosphere, like they like set it. He set it up well enough that the tone was there, and like you know. And I thought the vampires were creepy, like the designs were creepy and stuff. I think all the right pieces were there, but it's still a campy vampire movie. So that brings it down a little bit. You know what I mean? So it just kind of, I think it just kind of evens out for me.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know. I
yeah.
just thought it was going to be more. There was only going to be like 2 or 3 vampires, and you know, through their friendships and whatnot, they could overcome the night type of thing. And it just ended up being a slaughter fest, and not even a good one at that. Um, thing like that whole, I get nitpicky with things,
You do.
and
Go ahead.
they just it doesn't make any sense. They have so basically the Asian lady just loses her mind for some reason and is like, "We're gonna fight," because
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes sense, which I found stupid. But anyways, that's what happens, right? She dies basically immediately, killing one person, and then so they're like shooting them, and they keep showing vampires grab people, and we know who, like, there's only like 6 of them in there. We know every single one. But they go in and they start grabbing people. Like, I have to rewatch, but they grab like 3 or 4 people and like eat them or whatever. But if they had grabbed and eaten anyone, it would have been one of the people we knew, because we knew everyone in the barn. So that's like not matching up in my brain, and it's annoying me. And then
Mm-hmm.
because we get every person in that barn gets their own death sequence, right? So I don't know who they were attacking. So that bugs me. And
That's a
then
good question. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, that bugged me. They start attacking them and they're fighting them off. I'm trying to think who dies first. It was the Asian lady first. And then basically the love interest gets killed in the barn, I'm pretty sure, who shows up a little later at the end. And then the piano guy was like, I'm just gonna cut myself and stand here doing basically nothing. And he's like the slowest death of all time for some reason. I guess he's
Mhm.
supposed to be stalling them. But so he dies, and then Michael B. Jordan and his cousin go upstairs.
Mhm.
Also, there's the love interest of the cousin. She just dies too.
Yeah.
Um, and then once they're up there, that gets even worse. I guess they make some kind of deal up there, like is what you were saying.
Yeah, they show like him about to stab him or whatever, and they're just looking at each other. He just says it. He does. They don't like show the scene. Like they show a little bit, but they don't like show
Yeah.
them making the deal. Right.
Okay. Which might explain it, but somehow he just teleports past like 20 vampire zombies singing and stabs main Irishman villain in the back front. Like he just teleports from the top of the barn, which is where they're at, past all of the zombies,
Are
vampires.
they are there, aren't they?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, they're all
Hmm.
standing like right behind him doing their whole, I don't know if they were singing or whatever. They were doing something.
I will say, they were in the water. So
Yes, the two of them were in the water. So he not only teleported past all the people, he went in the
went
water
in the water
unheard and stabbed
unheard.
him in
Yeah,
the
you would
back.
hear like psh, psh, psh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Well, were they moving at the time? I think they were moving at the time. They're fighting
He
and
literally
struggling.
he hit
Yeah.
him with the guitar and he's got the thing in
Yeah,
his
so they're
head.
struggling. So I guess he
Sure.
could
All
unheard.
of the other
Yeah.
vampires are just blind, deaf, and dumb at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That I will say that is stupid. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. They needed to really stick the landing on this one for me, and they just fumble that whole thing. And like I said, some people are dying, but we don't know who they are somehow. I don't know. It was filmed very weirdly. Maybe they had more people in that barn previously, and it was an editing thing. I don't know. But
I literally didn't even
yeah,
like,
you didn't even think of it. I know. I noticed
yeah,
these
or
things, and it
notice it.
bothers
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. No, that one I will say is completely valid.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then with all those people just dying anyways, it just like, why did I have to watch a whole hour of this? I feel like it could have been cut down to like 30 minutes for that setup and then go crazier at the end. I don't know.
no, I think that this movie could have been shorter. I think the setup was too much, but I think they did want to give each character like some sort of
Yeah. Well, that was actually the
arc.
part I liked about the movie. I just felt
Yeah.
like it amounted to nothing in the finale. Like none of the
Yeah.
relationships mattered. I could have just not known them at all, and you could have still had the same death sequence.
Yeah. That is funny because I thought the first half was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I knew the vampire thing was coming. I just didn't like I thought it was going to be done better in the finale. So I thought the payoff
oh,
was going to be better.
I liked him shooting all those guys though. I did like that.
When everyone likes it when the main character shoots a bunch of bad guys that are bigots. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
KKK guys. Yeah, it's like Nazis and KKK guys. Yeah, those guys can
yeah, he has his little
get killed.
one man army thing. But there's even things in that that's like he's sniping from the edge of the forest, right? Okay, fine. For some reason, he has the gun buried like 20 feet in front of him. Why didn't you just have it on your hip or something? But he goes and I've had this plan. I have it buried 2 feet in front of me for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he starts mowing them down, and they're all just like dumb and can't shoot one guy for some reason.
What I think is interesting that you didn't nitpick in the vampire ending thing is these vampires are literally have in this lore are really like strong and fast.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
is Michael B. Jordan one Michael B. Jordan twin who's human
Being able to
like
fight him
beating up
off. He's a soldier
the
boy, man.
one?
Soldier boy.
Yeah, and that just made no sense. That is like he would be kicking his he should be smacking him across the way. Like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So it
is
was all bad.
definitely
And then so they're attacking like the people down at the bottom, and then the main guy and the girl are like, "Let's go, let's get out of here." And then, but the other rest of the vampires are still attacking, and then they come around the whole barn and jump up to the top. It was just so goofy. I don't know.
yeah. I agree. The campiness stuff. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I just maybe my threshold is higher. I don't know.
Well, and I was seeing
Um,
lots of good reviews for this too, so I might have just gotten my hopes up. I was like, this beginning was pretty decent. I will say, yeah, it was kind of boring, a little slow, but I was like, let's see what they do with it. And then I was just disappointed.
this is what I'll say. This movie was wholly original, other than I know vampires is a concept that's been around, right?
Yeah, no, I think
I
it should
appreciate
get
that it's
something.
original
Yeah.
and um, it was different, and there was things that I liked about it. There's a lot of things I liked about the movie actually, and I think these are movies that we should talk about. I mean, we could talk about whatever a bit, Daredevil or whatever, but I think like movies like this and Ryan Coogler, I think deserves at least to. We should at least see something that he makes that's original. Every movie that I've seen Ryan Coogler's has been good. I think he deserves to get you know to see when we could talk about his
Hmm.
movie. I think Michael. I think there's a lot of good. Um, Everyone did a good job in this. The lady who is Smoke's love interest is the lady from Loki. I think she did a pretty good
I thought
job.
it was really weird that when he was dying, though, they were like, you're going to be breastfeeding for some reason. I thought there was like very unnecessary. Like, they could have made this movie PG-13 and had more people see it. I don't know. That's my opinion, but
They want the blood. They want the blood,
you can
right?
still have blood.
You can't have blood like that in PG-13.
Okay. No.
You can't have gore, people's face get blown off and stuff like that in a
Okay.
PG-13.
Fine. Wow.
Um,
I just thought the
and
scenes, even like the scene of him peeing, was stupid. And
yeah, and but I like the vampires. Yeah, the P like I didn't have to actually see his taking a whiz.
yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't. Yeah, you could have
they
just
could just show.
shown the top half of him.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
It's annoying. It bothers me.
Um, yeah. Well, I think they're just showing her because she's like, with the baby, right? So just like,
Yeah, but you
I
could have
don't know.
shown her with the baby, not with your whole teeth out.
I th- I would think in a traditional thought, you would think they would have that because they have a daughter or whatever. They would show like a young girl or something instead of like an actual baby.
Honestly, I think it would have been fine if they were just like standing in flowers and she was holding the baby. I think that would have been fine.
Yeah, but they wanted to like have them actually interact, so I think that was the reason because they're
I
like, yeah.
There is no reason you can give me that justifies she needed to have her teeth out breastfeeding. I'm sorry.
I don't. I That doesn't bother me. I
It's
don't know
just a
why you're weird
weird.
about it,
It's a
but
weird choice. It's
it's a
weird.
choice. Well, they want to do mother thing. I don't know. Like she's a mother, whatever. Who cares?
Okay.
Um, I thought the movie was good. I said 7.5. Um, uh, yeah. I mean, I take it for what it is. I see where you have your issues.
Yeah, I agree with you that it is original, and I think Hollywood has just sniffed its farts for so long. When a movie like this comes out, they overrate it,
Yeah.
and like people were giving this like nines. It's not there. Definitely not. Uh,
I, it's not a bad movie. I think I will continue to see things that Ryan Coogler makes. He's gonna continue to make at least good stuff.
I think if he still creates original stuff, I mean, I'll give it a chance. Yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I might be getting tired of Michael B. Jordan in every single one. Maybe branch out a little bit, but I think he's a good director. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. I think that wraps up our episode for this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until then.
This has been the Daniel and Andrew Show.